Might be the same place you get yours. Just got a different name to it, baby.
Does it go? I tell her you get the cool stuff, man. I mean, just.
Can you believe that people don't know the rules at the intersection? So I just wait in the intersection because I didn't know the history.
Yep.
No, I paused. That's why I had to check my car. It's because I assumed he would slow down and he couldn't leave the intersection. He would just gas it.
Well, good evening, and welcome to the City of Douglasville Planning Commission meeting. I am Francisco Artley, the chairman of the Planning Commission. The other members of the Planning Commission are Natalie Fegan, who's not here, Keith Burnett, Nathan Zachary, who's here tonight, Ralph Bennett, and Mark Van. The staff members are Miranda Jordan, staff attorney, Dana Gray, Community Development Director, Chelsea Tubbs, Planning and Zoning Administrator, and Camille Brown, Planner 1. There are a few protocol items I need to make you aware of before we start the meeting. Please listen closely on how tonight's meeting will be conducted. Keep your comments and presentation on a professional level, dealing with the facts that are important for this commission to make its decision. We will not accept comments that are considered by the chair to be a personal attack on any individual or group of individuals. You will receive a warning from the chair if you deviate from this requirement. A second deviation will result in a request for you to leave the meeting and the premises for the evening. Refrain from any applause or comments from the audience. Only one person will be talking at a time, and all the comments will be made at the podium after the speaker has been recognized by the chair. Please direct all comments to the chair and the commission, not to the audience or the staff. Please do not applaud, or react to speakers, speak from the audience, cheer, carry on in conversations with others in the audience, or disrupt the order of this meeting in any way. Be aware that these hearings are not a debate or an opportunity to ask questions which must be answered by any individual tonight, but merely an opportunity to present information to the commission. Other than the applicant, no person may speak more than once. The applicant may reserve part of their speaking time as a rebuttal and may speak next and last and may use the entire 20 minutes allotted for the pro side of the application. Other than the applicant, no person may speak longer than 5 minutes. If you have a cell phone or any other electronic device, I ask that you either power them off or put them in silent mode. If anyone wishes to speak tonight, please fill out a form available on the table up front and hand it to the staff before approaching the podium. After the case is called, we will hear next from the staff regarding any relevant information to this case. The commission members will be free to ask questions at any time before the vote on a project. Following the applicant, anyone who wishes to speak for or against the project or just ask questions will have an opportunity to do so. The city ordinance restricts each side to a maximum of 20 minutes, or time may be waived at the discretion of the presiding official. If questions are raised, we may ask the applicant to speak again. Afterward, we will call for a motion and a second and have any necessary discussion regarding the item. Then we will vote to recommend approval or a denial of the application. This commission is only a recommending body. The items will be heard by the mayor and city council, whether we recommend approval or recommend denial. All items will be heard by the city's mayor and council at their legislative meeting on Thursday, January 15th, and then voted upon them by their meeting on Tuesday, January 20th. All right, the first item on our agenda is to approve the minutes from December 2nd. Are there any comments on it or discussion? Do I have a motion?
A motion to approve the minutes from the Tuesday, December 2nd commission meeting.
Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, the motion carries and the minutes are approved. Is there any old business? Okay. Our new business. The first item is 26-018. Hold a public hearing and consider a request for a change in zoning from PUD, Planned Unit Development District, to and PSP, Public Semi-Public District, and GC, General Commercial District, to PUD, Planned Unit Development District for plus or minus 82.2 acres located on Bill Arp Road and Rose Avenue, Land Lot 161, District 2, Section 5, Parcel ID 01610250017 and 01610250043, and Land Lot 162, District 2, Section 5, Parcel ID 01620250029. Application by DRB Group. Staff will now present the item.
Good evening, Commissioners. Dana Gray. Ooh, we moved. I do not remember the new address. 6758 Spring Street. Sorry for that. All right, so this is a request for a rezoning from general commercial, public semi-public, planned unit development to planned unit development. And again, this is located at Rose Avenue, Bill Arp, or otherwise called Highway 5. The applicant is proposing 125 single-family detached homes and 357 townhomes, totaling 482 units on approximately 82 acres. This applicant did come to you before in October of 2025. At that time, they had a proposal of 793 units. So they went back to the drawing board, and now their proposal proposes less units than what they originally had, and the applicant is present.
All right. The previous one was, you said 700 what?
93 units.
All right. Are there any questions?
2024. Sorry, it was in 2024.
2024, okay. Is there any questions from the commissioners? None? All right, thank you, sir. Will the applicant come forward and state their name and address for the record? Tell us what you intend to do on this property.
Got all my toys. All right. Good evening, Chairman, members of the Commission. My name is Jessica Hill. My business address is 600 Peachtree Street, and I represent the applicant DRB Group. I'm joined by Cameron Heath, who's standing to my right, as well as our traffic engineer. Cameron is with the DRB Group as their development manager for this project. All right. And if this feels a little bit like Groundhog Day, I'm sorry, but hopefully we have some new information to share with you. So this is an application for a PUD zoning. It's at the corner of Bill Arp and Rose Avenue. It's 82.2 acres, and the majority of the property is currently zoned general commercial. Looking at the site plan that you can see on the screen, the yellow lots are single-family lots, and the darker gold lots are townhome lots. The original proposal that we submitted also included an apartment component, which has been removed entirely. These are for sale, either fee simple townhomes or fee simple single-family homes. Again, 125 single-family homes and 357 market rate townhomes. Here's the zoning map. You can see the majority of the property is zoned GC. It's all the pink area that you see, with a small portion in green that's zoned PSP, and then a small portion that's the blue area over in the left corner is zoned PUD. Surrounding land uses include the whole gamut: residential, industrial, general commercial, multifamily, park and recreation, including both Hunter Memorial Park as well as Legacy Arena and the West Pine Golf Course. The comprehensive plan, I'm happy to say, supports this. It provides for, this is a mixed-use district. It recommends development in accordance with the character of the neighborhood and a diversity of lot sizes, housing types, and sizes to accommodate a variety of stages in life. Pedestrian-oriented setting, well integrated with the city's neighborhoods, parks, civic spaces, and supportive services. Here's a slide showing the density in the area. Again, you've got a mix of different densities. To the north, the Fairways and the Rosewood developments are the lowest in density at just around 2 units per acre. Immediately abutting the Park West apartments are 13.37 units per acre. Across Highway 5 are the Rocky Ridge apartments, which are 12.35 acres. Up to in the green area you see, that's the West Chase townhomes. They're 7.48 acres. And just as a reminder, this project is 5.86. So we think that fits in nicely with the mix of townhomes, apartments, and single-family homes in the area, particularly given the location on the corner of Highway 5 and Rose Avenue. We have some amenity concepts to show you. There are conditions included in your packet, which I'll get to in a few minutes, but we are proposing to have various amenities, including a pool and cabana, dog park, playground, community garden, fire pit, and then there's a linear park opportunity, which I'll talk about in a little bit as well. There's some area that's not being used in the site plan that we can provide to make available for Douglasville and for public use. I'm not going to go through all of this history, but needless to say, we've been at this for quite a while. This site was originally before you as an industrial development back in 2022. That was denied. The property owner met with the various stakeholders in the city of Douglasville and determined that a residential use, a medium-intensity residential use, was more appropriate. DRB Group was selected. We submitted the application. We went through a development of regional impact, which was ultimately approved, and then started the hearing process, which you are aware of. There was also an AECOM traffic study that was proposed, and I understand has been completed. The study actually stopped short of this site. It does not include this property, but it did, as noted in the staff report, show that there's about a 2% growth. And again, our traffic engineer is happy to chat with you about that to the extent you want to hear it. As far as revisions go, what have we done? So between the initial submittal, we've reduced the density. So it started at 793 in the DRI. Our actual submittal was at 772 units. We're now at 482, so that's about a 40% reduction. So we went from 10 units an acre to 6 units an acre. We met with various government services. Cameron can tell you more about that if you're curious, and it's also detailed in a letter on page 302 and 319 of your packet. But DRB met with EMS, Fire, Douglas County Schools, Elevate Douglas, the city manager, as well as Parks and Rec. We've incorporated several amenities, which were shown on there. And then there is a 17-acre area that could be conveyed for use as a linear public park. And that's going to be the green area that you see between the two gold townhomes that kind of runs, I guess it's kind of northwest to southeast through the site. And it would provide a great connection over to the park as well as the arena. Actually, I'm going to go back. We also have updated elevations that now include ranch-style units, which you'll see in a few minutes. And we proposed a condition that a minimum of 50% of the single-family detached will have masters on main. Again, trying to provide for aging in place and provide for something that might be a bit more attractive to a senior group as well. We have offered 14 conditions. Those are provided on page 61 of your packet. That includes the site plan, it includes elevations, it includes rental restrictions. Again, I'm happy to go through those. Just showing connectivity, showing this how the sidewalks connect through the site. In blue, you can see the sidewalks. There's a proposed trail we're proposing on this site that's shown in gold. And then there's also a private golf cart trail that's existing. But again, there's some patchwork, pedestrian, and other connectivity in the area that we think this site can add to. Traffic impacts. So the property is currently zone GC. It's 82 acres. If you built a 500,000 square foot retail center on this property, it would have 19,000 daily two-way trips. This proposed development has 3,900 and change daily trips. So it's a pretty significant reduction in traffic from what is allowed by right today. So to the extent that traffic is of a concern, we think that this proposal is certainly a better alternative than development under the current zoning. From a school perspective, from a household perspective, just keep in mind, this is not 482 new homes all at once. This is going to be at least a 5-year build out. So this will be built out through 2031. And from a deliverable perspective, it's about 60 to 110 new households annually. Let's see. Traffic impact comparison, again, this proposal has 88 fewer AM peak trips. It has 102 fewer PM peak trips than the previous one. It has 1,700 and change fewer daily trips than the original proposal. The queuing times and distances were approved. And what's interesting is that the levels of service for the intersections in the surrounding area did not change with all but one intersection, and it performs the exact same as if nothing was built on this property at all. So if you build it or if you don't build it, with the exception of one intersection, it's exactly the same from a traffic impact perspective. We talked about the fact that the traffic impact is going to be a gradual time. It's not going to be the traffic inserted on the roads all at once. There are some traffic improvements that are proposed. There are turn lanes both on Bill Arp and Rose Avenue. There are sidewalks required and a coordination required to add a bus stop near the site. And again, happy to go into that in more detail if you want to see it. School impacts, and with that, I'm going to let Cameron talk to you a little bit about school impacts and the elevations.
Good evening, commissioners. My name is Cameron Heath with DRB 55 Ivan Allen Jr. Boulevard, Atlanta, Georgia. So we met with Dr. Chris Smalls last year to discuss schools, impacts, capacity, as that was another main concern with traffic with our development. And he had shared that no, there's not, a ton of extra capacity in our 3 schools, Bright Star Elementary, Chestnut Log Middle, Douglas High. But they were looking into growth plans. There are a ton of other developments that are producing new students. He said no student will be unserved. And again, I just want to reiterate that the timeline of these students coming into each school is going to be very gradual throughout the 5 years of the proposed build out. And this is a very aggressive settlement pace. So these numbers are the absolute most they're going to be. They're probably end up going to be a lot more gradual than we have shown here. This map also just shows those other developments that I'm talking about that are new build, and there's about 4 that are new that aren't shown on here as well. But there's obviously a lot of new students coming, and the school board has, plenty of time to come up with different strategies of where to put these students, such as doing the module classrooms, finding new schools. I remember last time we talked to Chris, he was looking into a new high school site, just completely rebuilding. You can use existing spaces and convert them into classrooms. There's a lot of ideas and opportunities for how to serve new students, and we will, wait to see and find out what they end up choosing to do. And this is just the calculation on how we came up with our amount of students coming into the system per year. Every school district has their own sort of calculation, but so we just took the average of one that we were able to find with Fulton County. So again, maximum 15 new elementary students would be coming on per year starting in 2027 at the earliest. So now to go into our product examples, these are all pretty analogous to what's in the market today. We are flexible with colors, so I provided a ton of examples just because we're not particular on colors if staff or anyone has any specific recommendations, but we do have 3 different townhome types. These are our 1-car garage, 1,500 square feet, 3-bed, 2.5 bath. These will be in the low 300,000s. These are our 2-story, 2-car garage townhomes. These are a little bit larger, 1,800 square feet, either 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, and these will be sold in the mid 300,000s. And then we had received feedback that staff preferred 3-story rear-loaded townhomes more in the front of the community. So these are also a little bit larger at 1,900 square feet, 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2 to 3.5 bathrooms, and these will be sold in the mid to high 300,000s. We also have various single-family detached home sizes, and these square footages are going to range anywhere from 2,000 square feet to 3,000 square feet, anywhere from 3 to 5 bedrooms, 2 to 4.5 bathrooms, in the low to mid $400,000. Also, just for the material types, we incorporated a mixture of brick, hardy plank, siding, shake, and we're pretty versatile on whether we do water table, half brick, full brick, sides or not. So here's just a lot of examples. And then, like Jessica mentioned, we incorporated some ranch product into our mix to provide more diversity in offerings and then hopefully encourage more age-targeted buyers to come live in our subdivision. And with that, we can reserve the rest of our time for questions.
All right. Are there any questions from the board?
Just have a few comments. First of all, I wanted to say that this is a heck of a proposal. Thank you. I know you guys have been doing this for a while. You went from, make sure I'm saying this right. What was it, 782 down to
793.
Yeah, down,
units
and
with-
I used to be a developer, like I get it. I love the potential linear park. I love the amenities. I love the fire pit. Making good use of those lowlands. That's pretty bright. But it's just hard for me to deal with another 482 units on that spot. I get it. I get it that it is zoned GC right now, and if somebody slapped a shopping center on, which they would not need to rezone, they haven't done it because the land doesn't really, set up for that. But at the same time, I do get it that you could put a whole bunch more cars there if you built another Walmart or a TJ Maxx or whatever. But I get that. But I just, my concern with this thing is, it's kind of tough to say that it's still too dense when you cut it in half, but it's still too dense. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. It's just a lot of stuff. If we had 100 townhomes and all this other cool stuff, I would love it. I would love it that I could drive my golf cart from Hunter Park, hang out through here, walk my dog, cruise over to the golf course. My in-laws live 1,000 feet from here. That would be cool. I might even buy a property in there. But, man, it's just so dense and, you know, I don't really have any other things to say, but I just wanted to, it's just really dense and I just have an issue with that.
Right.
What do you guys think?
Mr. Benton?
Yeah, a couple questions. The single-family detached homes, I saw a slide that said 50 lots and then 40 lots, and then in the ranch, it didn't give a number. So is the rest of the amount, that's 90, so you're saying the other 35 gonna be ranch, is that?
No, those were the footages. So 50-foot lots fit
Oh, that was the
40-foot
lot
product.
size.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
And that should have carried over. The ranches will go on the 50-foot lots. I believe they're 40 feet wide.
So then is that 10 feet by 5?
So then these 40-foot wide lots will house 30-foot wide product.
Okay, I got you.
50 feet wide.
I got you. Now that makes no sense.
Okay.
And so I missed that. All right. Are these, is this community going to be all for rent or this for sale?
For sale. We specifically removed the apartment component to get rid of any rental component in this community. Everything will be for sale.
Okay. That was it. That's all.
That was it? All right, are there any other questions? All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of the project, ask questions, or make comments? Please come forward and tell us your name and address. Is there anyone who would like to speak other than in favor of this project? Please come forward and tell us your name and address.
Just very briefly, Alan Cosby, 9092 Rose Avenue. My dad built that house right there on Rose Avenue where the entrance to the golf course is in 1952. Okay, so, but reference to traffic. I know last time when they were trying to do it, they had this plan about when the people come out of there, they could only turn right. Okay, this time it wasn't even mentioned, and I brought up in one of the previous meetings about Rose Avenue is very congested already as it is, and all of our emergency services, when they have calls down that area, they come down Rose Avenue. And if that happens at a time when people are going out to work, school buses, this, that, and other, it's going to be difficult. So I have an issue with that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Allen. I know, because I congest Rose Avenue because it's the back way back to my house. And I've noticed how much traffic has really picked up there. Is there anyone else who would like to speak other than in favor of this project? All right. Is there any need for, actually, I would like to ask that question that Mr. Allen brought up. If the developers, is it still only going to be a right turn lane? Because I remember before, that's how you had to do it. You had to either turn out on the right, or if you came down Highway 5, you had to make a U-turn.
Good evening. My name is Abdul. I'm Mayor. I'm a traffic engineer with A&R Engineering, 2160 Kingston Court, Marietta. To answer your question, sir, the revised plan is to have the access on Billard Road to be limited to right in, right out, left out, no left in.
Okay.
So the left ins will be restricted. That was the recommendation in the DRI study, and the regional agencies, Georgia Regional Transportation Authority, ARC, and Georgia DOT, all of them reviewed and recommended that the left in be eliminated, and that was agreed upon.
Okay. So then to come in, it's basically you still got to come in from the right, and if you come down Highway 5, you got to make a U-turn to go in.
Correct. At the traffic signal.
Right. All right.
And some of them could turn left on Rose Avenue as well and use the signal to turn in. If they live towards the back of the project,
Right.
some could do that.
Okay.
But there's a traffic light. It would connect where the current traffic light is currently on Rose Avenue. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there any need for further discussion? All right, do I have a motion regarding this application?
I make a motion that we deny item 26-018.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion passes and the application is recommended for denial and will be heard by the city's mayor and council at their legislative meeting on Thursday, January 15th, and then voted upon by them at their meeting on Tuesday, January 20th. Thank you. All right. The next case is item 26-019. Hold a public hearing and consider a request for special land use permit for a massage therapy for property zone GC General Commercial District being located at and a portion of plus or minus 2.38 acres on 639 Thornton Road, Suite 111, Lithia Springs, Georgia 30122, in land lot 423, District 18, Section 2, parcel ID 04231820014. Application by K Massage. Staff will now present the item.
Hello, can you all hear me? Is that better? Chelsea Tubbs, 6658 Spring Street, Planning and Zoning Administrator. How are you all?
Doing good, thank you.
Today, before you all, again, the property for the proposed special land use permit is at 639 Thornton Road, specifically Suite 111. It's zone GC and is currently surrounded by other GC properties and maybe in one light industrial property. The current uses there, it's in a plaza, so they share a parking lot. But the current other uses within the plaza are hair and nail shops, additional restaurants, and even a pawn shop. Today, the applicant is applying for a special land use permit for a massage therapy use facility with the operating hours of 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. From Monday through Saturday, They had a prior special land use permit request that was granted by council in 2014, but it expired in 2015. So they are here to actually get a new permit and not a renewal.
Okay. Are there any questions from the board?
I have one question. There was some information here, it said that the business had some challenges in meeting the code requirements. So is that the reason?
Why properly?
So the stuff expired completely?
Correct.
And
Yes.
then this is an additional thing that
Correct.
occurred? Okay.
Yes.
I got you.
And that has been all corrected? That has been all corrected, whatever?
Well,
they
with
were-
them applying for the special land use, yes.
Okay,
With them coming today to apply
Okay.
for it, yes.
all right, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Will the applicant come forward and state their name and address for the record? Tell us what you intend to do on this property.
Hello, my name is Kimberly, and I'm helping with translation of the business owner. Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay. 说你们要说您的 so they need to state their name and I'm sorry.
Or
What
you
was
could do it for them, their name and
okay,
address.
name and address. 名字跟地址帮我报一下。丹鹏，地址是。
家里的地址啊？
They're checking if it's the home location or is it the business location? It's the business location. Okay. 你的名字是什么？
彭丹。
Name is Peng Dan. Dan Peng, sorry, apologies. Peng is last name. Business location is 639 Thornton Road, Suite 111, Lithia Springs, Georgia 30122.
Okay. And then just whatever they want to say about the permit and the property and the usage.
So regarding the property, there will be no modification or construction done to the outside of the property. We are applying for a special land use permit simply because we were informed that we need it in order to continue operating a massage business within the commercial district. There will be no change to the outside or the land, and it will not cause any disturbance to the residents or the other companies or business that are within the commercial district.
Okay. All right. Are there any questions from the board?
I just have a quick question.
Okay.
Hi, thank you. Have you guys been in business since 2014 or 2015 or something like that?
他说从2015之后没有再继续进行这个按摩店的工作吗？就是这个店是不是一直在营业中？
对，一直在营业中。
那个他让我们那个补那个材料，我们一直没有拿到，所以说一直营业当中。但是他让我们关这儿，我们就关了，我们已经关了，现在已经关到
什么时候关的？去年5月份是吗？
对，5月份。
It was in business because we were informed that we were lacking documents, and I was a recent translator. They had a lot of issues trying to find the required document due to the language barrier. And when we were informed that we have to close the shop back, I think last year in May, the shop was closed, and it is still currently closed, and we're waiting for the permit to be passed, and then we can reopen the shop.
Makes sense.
All right. Are there any other questions? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of this project, ask questions, or make other comments? Please come forward and tell us your name and address. Is there anyone who would like to speak other than in favor of this project? Please come forward and tell us your name and address. Is there any need for further discussion? Do I have a motion regarding this application?
I'll make a motion to approve this item for special land use permit, item number 26-019.
All right, do I have a second?
No second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion passes and the application is recommended for approval and will be heard by the city's mayor and council at their legislative meeting on Thursday, January 15th, and then voted upon them at their meeting on Tuesday, January 20th. Thank you. All right. Do we have any staff reports, Mr. Gray? No. No? All right. Is there any other business? We good? All right. I make a motion that we adjourn. All right. Huh? We are adjourned. Thank you.